Okay, Sam here back with you. It's Wednesday, December 5th, and we're going to finish up our little series of trend buckers. I'm back over here on Coin Checkup. I've got them sorted by market cap, and I'm just working down the list here. So here's the first one, Binance. We just did that one. Second up, True USD. I'm not going there just yet, although as that gets more history, we'll go there. Next up, Waves. Just did that one. Last one on the list, Factom. Now, Factom's an interesting project. I would encourage you to come over here and do a little due diligence on this project if you're not familiar with it. Here's something that you'll find interesting. One of the very few on their scale that with a strong buy. Now, you can read about current developments, news here. There's a lot of data here to do some due diligence and understand this project, what they're all about, the team behind it. You can see here where they rank. They're at 3.5 on their algo score. You know, we're not at the top of the heap, but we've got all the trends are very favorable and the price action is favorable and short-term forecast is bullish. We can look at the trend here. So let's go look at the chart and see what we can come up with here. So now this is an 8-hour Factom to Bitcoin on Bittrex. Well, this is interesting, right? So something pumpish happened here. So it separates. It's actually a rather nice WXY. Is it we get clear separation with the X wave between the two ABCs. Still a little short for an X wave here, but it works. So we get ABC down into our W. There's the X, then ABC down for the Y, and then it looks like we've got something impulsive started over here on the right edge. Could be. So let's go down to a 2-hour here and have a look at this. Now it looks to me like we're just getting started here. So it's really just a straight shot up here, but this is very technical, which is good news. So we want to see that. So if I note here, right into the spread of the Vegas waves. All right, so I'm just grabbing my low here. I'm going to the proposed wave 1 high. Now that's what you call nice confluence here. We get 50 to the tick. We split the Vegas wave, the lips of the Vegas wave, just to tag that 50, and then we take off. Well, already to first target, had a little reaction there, but enough legs to keep going. So it would appear to me that all we've done is a 1-2-1-2, right? That's the more bullish scenario. So if we just measure this out, and so on the assumption that the low is in here and that we are beyond something corrective here, if I've got a 1-2, well, now I'm looking for that third. So let's just do using our tools as we do all the time. We'll take the length of the 1, project it from the 2. Well, we're just now broaching the 100. We know the third. So if I scrunch this up here, we can look at it. Let's get this over here. So here's the high probability zone for our third. We want to be, this is a reasonable target for us between that 1618 and 175. I've shown that many times. So that's potentially, now maybe this has to move over a touch depending on how the speed at which, if it's going to get here, that it does get here. So we've got a 1-2-1-2. Well, so that's the larger 3 we're looking for. So we pull that off with that established. Now we've got a secondary here. Within that, if this is going to stay as a 1 wave, ideally we'd look for an impulse here. Although as we're in a 1 wave, we could have a diagonal. But if the 1 is done and we're going to stay impulsive here at 1-2, we'd prefer to see an impulse here. So here maybe this is the roadmap that gets us there. So 1, 2, 3 here at the same thing, 1618, 175 just on the lower degree. So we kind of pull this, so we can pull these all over so they're more aligned with what's realistic in terms of the time frame. So now looking at that. 1-2-1-2. Well, the second 2, if I grab this, right, doesn't quite make the 50. Maybe a sign of strength in the market. It's much more common to come down to the 50, but in a strong market, could just be impatience. Could be that they ran into a little prior resistance here. Get it right on there. We ran into that served as support, possible, right? Not unreasonable. So if this is an ABC, the pivot of the B wave gave us some structural support here for the 2 of the third. So, off we go. So 1-2, we're through the 100 for this as a third. So we qualify as a 1-2-3. Let's see if we've got the legs here to get to 1618. Then we'll watch for the overlap of the 1 and what this structure looks like. Do we get a clean impulse here in the third? So we would need if it's going to stay impulsive, we would need an impulse in the larger degree, including an impulse in the smaller degree. That's how we'll know what we've got. Too soon to call it just yet, but certainly one to be watching for. Should we get up here and get to this 3, we'd anticipate that price action here and then follow that with the ABC that would bring us down here to finish it. So that would give us a 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe that's too steep, right? We don't know what that's going to look like. Just kind of free drawing here for the roadmap, right? So maybe our 4 comes down here, prior algo target, not unreasonable. We'd be looking for, let's pull that off here. So we'd be looking for the 2 if that were going to complete there. If this is our 2, and again, now I'm hypothetical up here. If we get up here, maybe that's too deep. Maybe we get something along these lines here, so we're going to go more like this to the 4 before we kick up for that 5. So that would not be an unreasonable roadmap here, but we don't know. I'm just freestyling here. So I've got a roadmap here. If I'm going to track this, how close do we stay to this? Are there invalidation points? Are we following this roadmap? What kind of legs do we get here? So I'd want to know, so that I don't have to watch it all the time. I would keep an alert here should we get to this 1618 of this degree. I'd also put an alert on this 1. If this is going to start to fall apart, we're going to come down, we're going to take out this wave 1 high, then that changes the potential count here as we'd no longer have an impulse in this proposed 3rd. So we're certainly on the move here. This is a good sign here. There's no really dramatic signs of any strong divergence here, other than we did get it in the 1, so you can see it here as we get this push here from the 3 into that 5, and then we had this divergence here. Oscillator's not as strong, so if that's the completed 1, we'd be finishing the 5th of the 1 here. That divergence supports it. Down we come for the 2, and now 1, 2. Now this is not done yet here, so it's premature to do anything other than we can note that we've gone beyond this pivot here. So we have strength here in this proposed 3rd of the lower degree here to potentially get us up to this 1618. So I'd want to know if we got there, what does it look like? Do we get a reaction there? So it's not, and then of course you could put this rather steep, so probably it's too steep likely for a set of median lines. So we could, when we get that 3rd, we'd have something along these lines. So maybe the 4 coming here at the lower side of the channel. I'm waiting. We don't have the 3rd really to pivot off of yet, but if we were to get there relatively quickly, that might lay out rather nicely. 3, 4, up we go for the 5, wait for the 4. Then this would give us the 5 up here that would finish something impulsive here. At least we'd have a good 1, recognizing that the next thing to happen that we'd be anticipating is the full 50 off of that. So if we finish up here, again, purely hypothetical at this point, if we finish up here, let's get it right on there. So let's see, let's get the smaller one out of here. So if we finish here, then the next opportunity is down here between the 50 and the 618. Right, this is what we're looking for all across crypto, is signs of motive waves coming off of these long, this trend, this relentless downtrend. Eventually, we're going to hit some pivots here, and we're going to start the next leg. That's my belief anyway. So we get 1, 2. This would be a good sign here. So this is a an alt with a strong team behind it, an interesting project. There's a lot of positives here. Again, I would encourage you to come back over to where I have them here. I'd dig around here on Coin Checkup. It's a good place to understand what they're all about. Even if you just went, so I always start here. What's the purpose of this cryptocurrency? Right? What is its purpose? Interesting, right? I would encourage you to watch this. If you're interested in trading, at least understand what you're trading if you're looking at this. So it's nice. It's good to see some trend buckers in here. Some coins that are being bought right now. We're spreading against Bitcoin, so Bitcoin's weakness could accelerate this. So one to keep on your radar. Right, strong project. Do a little research on it. I think you'll like the project. It's definitely one of my preferred. Something that I'm looking to accumulate whenever I get the opportunity. Right, so it's tradable as well as something to consider accumulating for a longer term play. All right, guys, that's three that are bucking the trend today. That's not a lot of them, right? But select company here. That's boy, if I went down that list, not many. All right, so we start getting the market caps getting much lower here. So Strat's getting a little move. We may be back to that on Friday if that holds. There's a few down here, but not many. All right, guys, crypto winter still intact, but a few little sprouts of some growth, a little sunshine. All right, guys, we'll call it a day there. See you later.